Howdy, it's your bud Stalkaz. In today's video, I'm going to tell you all about furry conventions. But before we continue, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell icon to get notified. So first, I'm going to introduce you to what furry conventions are. Then it gives you preparation pointers. Then what to do upon arrival, what to do afterwards, during the convention, and then finally some takeaways. Alright, let's get started. So first, what is a furry convention? A furry convention is simply a gathering of members in the furry fandom. Simple as that. And they occur throughout the year, all throughout the world. Of course, the United States has the majority of them. The biggest, of course, is Midwest Fur Fest, which takes place right outside of Chicago, Illinois. So, if you ever decide to go to a furry convention, and I highly recommend you do, the first thing to consider is the location. Which one do you want to attend? Well, of course, a lot of people choose the closest one, or maybe they want to have a specific one in mind, like just to go to the biggest one, just to have the most opportunities. So you choose which one you want to go to, and of course, also you want to factor in the cost. How much can I afford? A lot has to do with transportation, how to get there, and also, for instance, accommodations, like the hotel arrangements. And then, of course, last but not least, is the pre-registration. When you decide on which con to attend, eventually it'll open up pre-registration where you simply go online and you enter in all your information, and then you get basically you're pre-registered. And then shortly afterwards they'll open up the hotel block, which is basically a section of the hotel rooms that are blocked off and reserved specifically for con goers, and they're at a reduced rate kind of as an incentive for the con to be held at their facility. So make sure you go ahead and register your room, and then you should be good to go. In terms of the actual con cost, it varies. Well, first, a lot of times cons will have different tier pricing. The bottom pricing, the lowest tier, is pretty much just admission to the con. The second tier, for instance, when I went to Philadelphia, is you get admission, plus you get this nifty t-shirt. At least snazzy, huh? And then you might have yet a higher tier where you get admission to the guest of honor dinner or banquet, and of course it's a dinner, and then you get to meet the actual guest of honor. Guest of honor is basically like an individual or a group of people with prominence in the fandom, and it's kind of like the grand marshal of a parade. And then last but not least, like the highest tier might entail all that, plus you'll have like priority registration in line, and you know, you might get front row seats at different functions and like the fursuit parade and all that. And the last stage of preparation is packing. Make sure you pack enough clothes for the entire duration. Make sure you pack your toiletries, even though most hotels have soap and shampoo and stuff like that. It's always a good idea just to bring your own. And also, if you have a fursuit, obviously you want to bring that. And everyone should bring their badge, because this is how you're identified. This is how people know which persona you are. Alright, moving on. So, you decide which con to attend, you pre-registered, you got your hotel room all lined up. So when you finally arrive at the hotel, the first thing to do is you go to that front counter, you check in, get your key. You get your key, you go to your room, you drop off all your stuff, and then you go into the next step. And this is the dreaded line, the registration line, which a lot of you probably have heard. You get in that line and you try your patience, but eventually you get up to the front, and then when you get to the registration table, they're going to ask you for your name and other information like that, some paperwork possibly, and then in return what you get is your con badge, and this is effectively your ticket to the con, because throughout the con space they're going to want to see this, the security and the staff, and whenever you're in the con space, or just to keep it easy, just make sure you wear this at all times. Also, you'll get informational material such as like a con booklet, and this gives a lot of useful information such as a floor plan to the con space to see where everything's located, you know, the schedule of panels and itinerary, and also like the staff, their names and all their information, and nearby like restaurants and other amenities. Really handy and useful. Alright, so we're at the con. got everything settled and situated, now the fun begins. So, cons have a lot of different events scheduled. For instance, there are the opening and closing ceremonies, pretty self-explanatory. Opening ceremony, for instance, like a rundown of the con, and welcoming and greeting everyone, gives some just brief rules and all that stuff. And then the closing ceremony is kind of just send off, go away, and all that stuff, and kind of previewing what's going to happen in the future. And then also, these are some must-see events. You have your fursuit dance competition, which is a highlight, and I highly recommend. It's such an awesome experience, considering the amount of insane talent out there. So, of course, it's really fun to watch all these amazing dancers there. Also, they'll have things like talent shows, for instance, and other activities. And then, of course, another marquee event is the fursuit parade. And this is the best opportunity to see all the fursuiters. They all get in line and you march through the con space and everyone gets to see everyone's fursuits. Besides events, there's other activities such as panels, which are effectively like seminars or informational sessions where you learn a whole bunch of different information on a variety of subjects, both in and out of the fandom. In addition to panels, there's also games, such as, furries gather together, play some video games, or they might do things like escape rooms and other interactive activities. And of course, there's also raves, which occur at nighttime, and they have a specific space where, you can dance, and there's DJs and strobe lights and all that stuff. And then, of course, one of my favorite things to do is fursuit. If you have a fursuit, you suit up, you go around and interact with all the other attendees. Or if you don't have a fursuit, you can always interact with the fursuiters too, and take pictures and videos and just meet everyone in real life. And of course, it's very important to make sure you ask first, consent first, like when it comes to hugging and all that other stuff. Yeah, if in doubt, just make sure you ask. And another major draw is the shopping experiences, aka the Dealer's Den and Artist Alley. The Dealer's Den is a space where dealers or artisans or vendors, whatever term you want to use, are in a room, and that's when you get to show off their craft and places for them to show their stuff and to sell them. And it's really fun just going around and see what there is to offer. And Artist Alley is specifically just a Dealer's Den for the artists. Oftentimes they're combined depending on the amount of space. So definitely worth going to that. Alright, so final takeaways. So a very important rule to remember is 6-2-1, meaning you should get at least 6 hours of sleep every day, eat at least 2 meals every day, and take at least 1 shower every day. And last, most importantly, have fun. There's no right or wrong way for a con experience. It's all about what you want to do and your experience. So make the most of it and just have fun. Well, I hope this video helped you guys. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. This is Stalkaz. See ya!